Ladies and gentlemen, the new 911 Turbo and the new 911 Turbo S. Please welcome the Chairman of the Executive Board, Oliver Blume.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Porsche. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are off to a great start into 2016 with a world premiere of two top 911 variants that have become benchmarks for the ultimate blend of refined power, breathtaking performance, and everyday usability. But first of all, I take the chance to give you latest facts about 2015. We just wrapped up a very strong year. Deliveries were up 19% year over year, with more than 225,000 vehicles delivered worldwide. 51,756 units were delivered to the United States and 6,413 to our neighbors just north of us here. An impressive performance by our colleagues at Porsche Cars North America and Porsche Cars Canada. Our current vehicle portfolio is the most attractive Porsche has ever had, and our customers confirm that with an impressive vote of confidence. For the 11th year in a row, they rated Porsche highest among nameplates in J.D. Power's appeal study, which evaluates vehicle performance and design. We also ranked highest in J.D. Power's initial quality study and its sales satisfaction index survey. Ladies and gentlemen, but now back to the new Porsche 911 Turbo and 911 Turbo S. It is only fitting we present our ultimate 911 models here. The United States, after all, is the world's largest market for our 911 series. Every third 911 sold is sold here. And our Turbo and Turbo S variants make up 20% of all 911s delivered in America. Our top-of-the-line 911 models now offer even more power and a sharper design. Thanks to new turbochargers with larger compressors, the 3.8-liter twin-turbo six-cylinder engine of the 911 Turbo S produces 580 horsepower. The Turbo now is a 540 horsepower. We've also redefined fast. The new Turbo S is the first production 911 that takes less than 3 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. And of course, the new generation 911 turbos have their own specific styling cues, such as redesigned fronts, 4-point LED lights, and side air blades. We will introduce both model variants in Germany at the end of this month and here in the United States in April. So, what else do we have in pipeline? Any electrifying news? My message here today is Porsche will continue to develop and make premium, emotionally appealing sports cars, even if they are no longer powered by conventional combustion engines. You may recall that Porsche was the first luxury car maker to offer plug-in hybrid systems in 3 different model series: the Cayenne, the Panamera, and the 918 Spider. That was the first signal to the market. Our Mission E project clearly shows where we are heading. We have set aside well over $1 billion to launch our first all-electric Porsche sports car by the end of the decade. This will not be just another electrical powered vehicle, but a sports car for a new era. A car that drives, smells, and feels like a Porsche. Back in September at the Frankfurt Auto Show, we revealed our Mission E concept car and its capabilities. 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 3.5 seconds, more than 600 horsepower, a range of 300 plus miles, a charging capacity of 80%, of the battery in under 15 minutes, an innovative 800-volt system, and what many have called a stunning design. Our goal for 2016 and the next years is a value-creating and sustainable growth. And it's not a contradiction. Porsche will stay a very exclusive brand. You can be sure of that. The first steps are made, and I'm looking forward to the future of our fascinating brand. And regardless of whether it's a 911 Turbo S or a Mission E, one fundamental commitment to all our fans, customers, and prospects will never change. Porsche will continue to make superb sport cars the best and most exciting in their segment and provide a unique ownership experience. Thank you for joining us today.
Back with us is Alex Kirstein. Now, Alex, how do you think Porsche did? Do you think there's any new changes, any new surprises? I mean, they've sold 52,000 units in North America, but...
No real surprises this show. I mean, we knew they were going to bring the new 911 Turbo and Turbo S, and, you know, a little disappointingly, there's nothing more about that awesome electric Mission E concept that, you know, we were just talking a second ago about off camera. So, you know, just sort of incremental improvements on those vehicles, 20 horsepower bumps in both instances, up to 540 for the Turbo and 580 for the Turbo S. So. Yeah. Very powerful vehicles, but I mean, it doesn't really translate into a huge performance increase. The Turbo S has a 0.1 second 0 to 60 time decrease. So, you know, incremental, but you know, that's sort of the 911 thing. It's an evolution of the same theme, you know.
While the 580 sounds great, it's really not that massive when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a huge horsepower figure for a rear engine vehicle. I mean, you know, they're pumping a lot of power to that 3.8. And that power increase is due to bigger turbochargers in the S and some intake plumbing and exhaust plumbing on the regular Turbo. So yeah.
But eventually you hit the limitations of what you can do. I mean, you can chip away as much as you want at that, but like, again, we were talking earlier, eventually the tires won't be able to handle that. You know, there's some technologies that were just not there. So I'm curious about a company like Porsche that does this. You know, what real surprises can they bring to us at a show like this? Unless they bring a completely new vehicle, everything's going to be kind of like it was last year, but just a tiny bit better.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's Porsche's built massive success on that. You know, they've built a lot of success on the Macan and the Cayenne SUVs, and you know, they sort of improve and hone those vehicles over time. The real thing is going to be when we see that Mission E as a production-ready vehicle, because Porsche's announced that they want to build this eventually. So what we're seeing now is a concept, but it looks great. And I mean, it has some really compelling tech. That 800-volt quick charge system that should get it to 80% battery capacity in 15 minutes.
15 minutes, that's
super
crazy.
fast.
I mean, that's going to be a game changer. So I think, you know, at a certain point you get into diminishing returns with the gas engine Porsches, but you know, once we get into EVs, you know, it'll sort of be cake and eat it too. You know, green vehicles that have outstanding performance. And I mean, that Mission E looks so good.
It was gorgeous. Yeah, it's a gorgeous looking car. Like,
have we heard any rumors of when they're actually going to start going into production with this, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's not right around the corner. I mean, we're not going to see a Mission E in a year, but I think, you know, 3 or 4 years from now, we'll start seeing the production-ready concepts. And I mean, they're serious about getting this thing on the road eventually. The other Volkswagen Group brands have already said on the record that once Porsche has developed that 800-volt quick charge technology, they want to adopt it. I mean, the rest of the group is super hungry for that technology, you know, because Volkswagen has that e-Golf, and you know, they're showing off previews of what they're going to do in the future with that minivan concept, the Buddy. So the whole group, I think, is getting really excited about EVs. And, you know, I think they're sort of leveraging Porsche's engineering expertise to take them into the future.
Sure, and also their customer base that can afford something like that. I mean, it's different than what we saw with, like, the Volt with Chevy, which was the everyman and worked its way up to the Cadillac ELR.
Right.
This is the top-down, you know, which makes sense. It should be like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Porsche's really serious when it comes to this, because with the Cayenne, the Panamera, the Spider, I mean, they were the first to deliver some hybrid vehicles that, you know, they're like, hey, we're doing this, and then everybody was like, oh, this is actually working.
Well, yeah, they set aside, you know, the current Powerball amount for you know, testing and development, setting aside $1 billion for that. So they are obviously making a statement.